My name is host Derek. I'm the host talking with famous people, and we are here today with an assembled group of famous persons, and we are talking about determinate valuations. So, what is determinate for the INTJ versus the ENTJ? We know both types use as their main judging function TE, and yet they seem to value things quite differently. The ENTJ is famously interested in wealth, and the INTJ is famously capable and intermittently sort of interested in at least adequate resource accumulation. So my point is the determinant factor, given the fact that the perceiving function NI is not doing the judging, you would expect that the combination of the two, regardless of the order, would play out pretty similarly, and in general they do. But we note that they play out to prioritize for the ENTJ personal results at a higher level than the INTJ prioritizes personal results. So what is the determinant factor that distinguishes between those valuations? I'd like to ask, first of all, Trongeral or Megabro to comment upon this question, because they are both INTJs, and Hami too. That's what happens if you ask three INTJs a question.
It is hard to describe what I value in words.
When you make the determination to do something other than the choice that would make you more money, what is the determinant factor?
All right, well, for one thing, I am actually not very motivated by money. It just doesn't seem to drive me very much. My motivation is like the future metaphysical value of what I'm doing.
Okay. What about the present metaphysical value of it? Does that matter to you?
Not as much as it should.
Okay. But I mean, if it's achieving value in the present, do you say, okay, well, I'm done thinking about that thing because it's doing its thing and I'm moving on to the next thing? Or do you sit there and appreciate the fact that you've accomplished something?
Well, as a negativist, I don't do much of the appreciating after I do it. I just go on to another problem I need to fix.
So are ENTJs also negativists?
I don't know.
Okay. So why is it that the ENTJ is so wealth oriented, and with just a small difference in the cognitive function stack order, that the INTJ is not so wealth oriented? I'm trying to determine, is it because having NI first prioritizes truth ahead of outcome?
I actually think it might have something to do with not just SE, but actually FE. Because if you're an ENTJ, you've got FE as your role function, and part of being respectable is being wealthy. Like, you know what I mean? And the INTJ doesn't really care about being respectable in that way.
Well, I do think that's interesting, because if you think about the ENTP role function as being SE doing stuff, one of my core principles basically is, this is another reason why maybe I had some disagreement with the INFJ, is at the end of the day, my basic mechanism is, if I do stuff, something will happen. Which, isn't very much of a plan or anything. But the point being, that's an SE role function, right? I'm just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff, and then everything else is expected to take care of itself. I think ENTJs may be like, well, I'm just going to get rich, and then everything else will take care of itself, which is probably the most sensible way to go. So, what's your role function is what then?
SI.
SI.
I think it's kind of having done things in the past to present them.
I think it would be like how Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche, he said if, I don't remember what the name of the argument was, but there was a thought experiment where he said, if you lived your life over and over again, you could tell whether or not you did it right is if you would want to do it over and over again. The same life.
That's not true though, because that doesn't view novelty as in and of itself a value.
No, I mean the thing is, it's if you didn't know that you were living the same life over and over again,
Okay. All right.
it's like it's a
But you
thought
could,
experiment.
but you could go back in between and see what you did.
Well, if you learned that this had been going on and will keep going on, and there's nothing you can do about it, would you be happy with your life, or would you be unhappy? You know, it's like it's kind of like trying to achieve a perfect repeatability as a side effect of all the improvement.
Okay, but see, I like the idea. I also think that the way life kind of works is that you've got some big choices that open up whether you go on to this reality or that reality. And then on each big branch of reality, you've got small scenes that can play out in any number of different ways without changing the basic bigness of the big reality choice that you made. So I think there's like, that's why I always like to talk about the slabs, is because there's big slabs and there's little slabs, you know? And within a slab, there's lots of little circles and dots and all kinds of shit. But the point is, as long as the differentiation between lives is localized along a given slab, then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't expand. It doesn't affect anything else in the system. So, to me, that's why that you wouldn't necessarily play out the same way every time, because you could be basically doing it right and doing it differently concurrently, you know? So, Chandral, I want to hear more about what you were saying about
SI?
SI, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like with SI as a role function, you kind of have to present other people what you have experienced in the past, and I think it's kind of like, so you want to have experienced things in the past in order to present them in the future.
You want to have experienced things in the past. That's an interesting want to have. I will have wanted to have had to have experienced things in the past at some point. I think what you guys may be doing is sort of like a meta SI thing, where you're saying SI is about my identity through time. But what I'm doing here is, as a function of my identity through time, I want to understand how the algorithms of identity manifesting through time work. And I'm going to present that. It's kind of like meta SI. And to be projected outward, to be a role function, it has to manifest somehow as utility to others in one way or another. Margie says ENTJs will more actively pursue wealth, while INTJs will align themselves with those in power. Um, or I don't know if you. I think. I mean, I think INTJs keep themselves very autonomous. I think INTJs value their autonomy highly. Would you agree with that, Trondrol?
Yeah.
Do you feel?
Seconded.
Are you comfortable being lower in a hierarchy? Either of you guys, Megabro or Trondrol, or how many?
I don't even see the hierarchy. I think that's like an FETI thing.
What if somebody wants to put a badge on you that says trainee?
And I think that means I'm supposed to do some training.
Oh, I see. So you're fine with it, basically. You don't have a problem with hierarchy. Well, all right. Well, what do you think, Trondrol? How about you? Do you want to be trainee?
I I don't really care about titles.
Okay. Well, what would you guys think if I had a setup here and GoToMeeting where whenever anybody new came in, I put in front of their name over here on the GoToMeeting sheet, I put trainee Steve. Would you like to be? I'm sorry, you're in your trainee phase right now. You can't speak yet. You have to be here at least 2 weeks before you can speak. What if I were to make a bunch of fucking stupid rules like that? Would you guys be okay with that? I mean, would you say like, oh, those rules seem reasonable?
No.
No, you wouldn't.
In general,
you're not an INTJ.
In general, I do like to listen for a while before I talk. But the thing is, I would care about whether the word is accurate on whether or not you're actually providing training. If you're not providing training, I'd be mad.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So, what if I said probationary status? Then you'd be okay with that? Well, you're new. You have to go through probationary status. That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what this long fucking comment says. As a suggestive function in IEI, INFP, INFJ, as you guys. No, yeah, and INTJ. These people are always moving in the direction of greatest strength, wealth, success, reliability, suggestible by the extreme external form appearance. They try to live a beautiful life, whatever it costs them. One gets the impression that they always manage to be on the winning side, on the side of the strongest party. If the balance of forces is switched, likewise they will change their direction. Often attracted to strong people, they are easily put into optimistic state of mind. If shaken up a little bit, immediately become charged by a received pulse. They constantly try to be in an environment where they have the sense of omnipotence, money, power, honor, glory, medals, etc. If they're at the bottom of the social hierarchy, they will attempt to climb up by any means necessary. If something is being imposed on them, they are often not able to resist and oppose it, easily suggestible by force. Thus they may act cold, distant, and aloof just in case as not to fall into such circumstances. A good place for him is where there is some kind of active work, turbulent life. He becomes unconsciously plugged in, involved in it, and then later is surprised to discover himself where he did not expect himself to be. For this reason, they need to be careful not to get involved by chance in some business or project with which he had no desire or to have an association with. They are very easy pushed on to something, moved towards some solution because they're They are very easily pushed into something, moved towards some solution, because these people are easily manipulated by someone's force and suddenly find themselves beside such a person. Often they do not take offense at the sarcastic jokes made in their own address, as they also contain an element of force, may even perceive this as a hidden compliment. Respond to this sarcastically, the situation in principle implies he needs to reply with something for it. However, being drawn to strength and constantly going in the same direction, sooner or later he may actually reach it and not just try to discover and obtain it. Sometimes they may try to provoke someone to use their force. For example, offer to arrange a tournament in arm wrestling. Now, who is this describing? It's describing
It's supposed
INTJ
to be.
and INFJ?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, but like some of this would like only apply to Beta Quadra.
Well, Mega Bro, are you forgetting that time you challenged me to an arm wrestling contest?
Oh boy.
I think you are. I remember it clearly. I said, no, Mega Bro, I don't want to arm wrestle. And you're like, get the fuck over here and arm wrestle, host Eric. What the fuck's wrong with you, pussy? And I'm like, Mega Bro, please. You don't remember that conversation? I was sure that happened. Maybe that was a dream.
I mean, like the beginning of this was totally not matching me, but there was some in the middle that was close.
Well, was that a sarcastic joke about you? Did I just make a sarcastic joke about you? I don't think so. I don't think that was a sarcastic joke about you, was it?
It was a joke, not sarcastic. No.
Right, okay. Yeah. Because I'm curious, because I saw that, I was like, oh shit, I just made a joke. Was that sarcastic?
Yeah, I don't think that was sarcastic.
I think that was ironic, maybe, or just a joke about, just a joke in the general territory of irony, saying like, here's opposite of what we know to be true, kind of a thing, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so I do like the idea of Mega Bro challenging me to an arm wrestling contest. I would love to get that on video. I'm about to challenge him to an arm wrestling contest.
Now I can see even just by saying that, I can see some suggestive SC in my mind. Like, I suddenly have the impulse to like practice Anatime. You know?
Arm wrestling. Yeah, Delilah comes up. Delilah, I need your help. I have got to start practicing my arm wrestling too, because I think Mega Bro is going to call me out on this shit pretty soon. We're going to have this arm wrestling contest. I have to win. Dad, I'm not that strong. It's okay. You're stronger than me. Let's get practicing. Yeah. Well, it's okay, Mega Bro. If we have an arm wrestling contest, I am totally okay with losing that. I'm not going to practice, so maybe we will. I want to have a Talking with Famous People convention. I want to have it this upcoming summer, maybe 2017 summer, in Vegas. That'd be a good idea. I'll follow up with more information about that later. I don't want to get into the details of it right now, but I'm going to try to make arrange one, not engage in it. Oh, Mega Bro's going to arrange an arm wrestling competition between me and somebody else? It's you, Margie. Mega Bro's going to arrange an arm wrestling contest between me and Margie. And Tronjaral's going to help him. They're gonna take bets. That's why we're gonna have it in Vegas. Between the time when they arrive and leave Vegas, they are going to open a sports book, take sports betting on our arm wrestling contest, close the sports book, and leave millions of dollars richer. That's their plan.
So true.
But they don't know. Here's the thing they're not aware of. The last second, right when everybody's waiting to see the arm wrestling contest, I'm gonna burst into their office and demand a bigger cut.
Smart move.
You got a lot of people out there, man. You got a lot of people out there, INTJs. They're waiting for this arm wrestling contest to start. Margie's there. She's primed. Look at her bicep. It's massive. Me, I'm waiting for my cut to go up. Then what do you do? What do you do, INTJs? You plan an arm wrestling contest for me. You didn't expect it to go there, did you? Well, so you get for fucking with an ENTP. Okay. Yeah, well, I know, Margie, but I'll get a bigger cut. because you'll be practicing it out there ready to go, and I'll be in there manipulating my advantage to leverage more money from them. Does that make me like an ENTJ or what? I wouldn't actually do that. It just seems funny. Okay, what is this video about besides arm wrestling?
That's what I was wondering. I'm lost.
INTJ.
Oh yeah, INTJs, right. Right, INTJs wanting to start arm wrestling fights. That's right. Alright, so hierarchies. How much do you notice hierarchies can also have something to do with Enneagram instinctual variance? Do you think that makes sense to you guys as well, INTJs, that your relationship to hierarchy may be...
That'd probably be type 3 and 8.
Types 3 and 8, which is what sexual variant or instinctual variant?
I don't know. I mean, oh wait, are you talking about the
social, sexual, and self-preserving?
Well,
I'm a sociosexual self-preserver. Hi, I'm Eric. I'm a sociosexual self-preserver. What are you? Oh my God, I'm a sexual socio-self-preserver. Well, let's preserve ourselves. I'll get in the jar first. You pour the hot sugar syrup on top of me.
I could see the instinctual variants all taking a part in this. So it'd be kind of hard to talk about. I mean, for one thing, the social, I don't really use that instinctual variant in my own mind. I break it into pieces. So
which pieces do you have? I forget. You told me this before, but I forget what it is.
P505.
Oh yeah, okay, great. So that's it.
I see the hierarchy stuff more like as a manifestation of FE.
Okay, so you see hierarchy is more FE. I see it as more FO though, right? It's dominance, stance dominance stuff. Some people aren't engaged in the damn. This is the thing. You got two kinds of people. People who are like if there's somebody comes into talking with famous people thing and they are conflicting with me, they're either number one pre-rational or number two they are doing dance to dominance shit like Tanner was, right?
That wouldn't be just FO. That'd be like FEFO. It's like social dominance.
What's FIFO?
Hard to explain. It'd be like sexual love attraction. That's it's a positive charge. Negative charge would be like, I personally really hate this person.
Like how I feel about Laura, my ex-boss. That's for somebody who I've invested actual emotion into. I've invested my hatred into her. The only person that I can say I've ever done anything like that, felt that way about. That's really interesting. INFJ validating with TI versus ENTP validating with FE. Good fucking point, dude. Good fucking point. So this is when we have a conflict. This is when I'm saying to you guys, like, will you stop being so, like, fussy about your TI all the time? Like, you can't say one goddamn thing to an INFJ that's even hints that they might not have the most brilliant, precise thinking in the world without them throwing a little fit. Well, it's because, I mean, that's how they validate all their shit, right? They want, I want Corey to tell me he likes my song, right? Really, really badly, because I respect the fact that his unique combination of things make him more right about that than anybody I've encountered. So, I trust him. I trust that. He probably trusts my TI, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that as far as a validating thing with TI, because he's saying to trust your TI means I'm going to figure this out myself, not Eric's going to tell me, right? That's not using your TI to validate shit. That's listening to Eric. That's using your FE or your, maybe your TE. That's using your TE potentially. It's like, okay, I need to come up with a sound set of arguments for something. I'm going to listen to Eric. He's got a sound set of arguments. I don't care if it's true or not, because I'm a TE person. It's going to work. Yeah, INFJs are great. They are. But anyway, that's why they don't like it when you question their TI at all. So it's because they validate shit with it. And you can't, unlike FE, I do validate shit with FE, and I respect, that's why I seek counsel from INFJs, is because they understand the FE better, and I validate my shit with objective indications that I'm doing well on that vector. But an objective indication that you're doing poorly on that vector is Eric saying your rationality here for this is inadequate. It's failing to meet my standards, yada, yada, yada. That is not an indication that you're doing well in the thing that you need to feel you're doing well in to validate shit. So that's probably a big part of conflict. And I get the fact that nobody wants to be told that I think better than you or something. I guess that's probably somewhat where the arrogance accusation came from in the first place. Is I was really at certain points going like, well, I don't understand why you aren't considering that, you know, the logic here I'm giving you is probably pretty sound. I'm a fucking debate coach, and I'm sort of making little claims of calls to expertise, which I almost never do. But I was starting to do a certain amount of that because I was getting frustrated, right? That is where you start entering into a territory of saying, I'm invalidating your rationality because of who you are rather than what you're saying. And so, of course, when you do that, then you're committing terrible fallacy and engaging in rhetorically unacceptable behavior. So, to the extent that I was doing that, I wouldn't blame him for being very frustrated. And I can see why. I can see how and why the whole thing broke down when I viewed it through this lens of validating themselves through objective examples of TI working versus evaluating yourself through an objective example of FE working. And it's a lot easier for me to seek help in this area of FE than it would be to seek help in TI, because FE is an extroverted function. It naturally includes other people. TI does not. Wise words, Eric. Wise words. Any last thoughts on this topic here? I don't know how we got. Did we have a topic here? Oh yeah, are we still on the INTJ topic? Have we ever stopped that one? Oh, we are still on it. All right, so INTJs, INFJs. The reason we keep bushing between them, you guys, is because I guess you both have NI as your dominant function, and you've got both SE as your fourth. So, I think because SE is your fourth, deciding. Now, I've heard it said this, that for me, SI is the area where I will accept any amount of help. I have no problem. You can give me as much help as you want. I'm never going to resent it or anything. You can handle all my schedules. You can make all these sort of details that I don't want to deal with and clean up all you want. It's fine. How does that play out for you guys with SE? Or does it? And this is for both INFJs and INTJs in the room.
I guess you could say I kind of like delegate like everyone having fun. Like everyone else can have fun.
You delegate
My
fun
thing.
having. Thanks. Listen, guys, there needs to be some fun having around here. I don't have time for it. I do not have time for it. Can you guys please take care of the having fun for me?
I'll watch
true.
a little. I'll watch.
Yeah. Look, guys. Hey, while you're having fun, occasionally I'll glance over there. That's plenty of fun for me. That's all the fun I need. Occasional glance worth. INTJs. Who else would answer a question like that but an INTJ? Oh, fun. He agrees with Mega Pro. I mean, it's so strange to me, of course, because fun is number one priority to me. So, all right. How about INFJs? What's your take on that SE? How that plays out for you guys as a function in which you like help from others, or does it? Margie's typing. What is he saying? I'm sure he's just making shit up. He's just pulling shit out of his ass again. You hate asking for help, okay, but you hate asking for certain kinds of help more than others, according to the model anyway. It would say that you really don't like asking for help on... I mean, you not only don't like it, but you consider it ridiculous that anybody would offer help in like FE stuff, okay? And with NI stuff, it's just like you might recognize somebody else doing it alongside you, but neither of you would ever dare to even consider offering help with each other in it. You just play at it together or something. But your third function, which is TI, you're not going to want to ask for help at it because it's a validation one. But you might accept some help in it, and a certain amount might be appreciated, but after a certain amount, you don't. It'll be anti-appreciated. So, according to the model, then your fourth one, SE, which is the doing function, in my book, Socionics views it as a controlling thing more, but I would say that according to the model, you gladly accept help in that area, but obviously you don't because you still successfully resist doing shit no matter how much I cajole you. Well, forget about asking for the help. I mean, look, let's say I don't ask for help and somebody offers to help me with my taking care of bills or something like that, like paying the bills or filling out paperwork, and I accept their offer. That's not an example of me asking for help. That's an example of me saying, totally I could use help in this area, versus saying, no, I don't need you to help me tie my shoes. See, different things we view as that versus the other, right? Everybody does. How many refuses still, huh? Well, that would be an SE, right? So what would it look like if somebody were to offer to help you in SE? JC, you're an SE, Dom. Tell me, what does it look like if you were to help someone with SE? Help someone in the field of SE?
That's a hard question.
I think it's dragging someone out to do something.
Okay, so do you appreciate being dragged out to do something?
Yes.
You do appreciate it, okay. But only so much. I mean, you don't want to be dragged around town all day, I'm assuming. Go ahead, Mega Bro.
I'd probably appreciate that.
In that case, yeah, that's probably what SE looks like.
Do you like to drag people, JC? Are you a dragger? So it would follow then that if they want to be dragged, then you want to drag. Is that true?
I don't necessarily want to drag. I just want to be accompanied in my exploration.
I'm not trying to drag you along with me. I'm trying to drag someone along with me, and you happen to be there.
Exactly. Like, come on, let's go. Yeah, I
Interesting. Interesting. So, for me, SE is the role function in socionics. And I think that makes sense because I don't necessarily know why I'm doing stuff exactly. I come up with reasons after the fact. Well, this is why I did this course. It's because of this reason. It makes perfectly good sense. And everyone goes, "Oh, that makes so much sense." I just, who knows why I do shit?
I think SC help is more about trying to get them to stop using NI as much. It's like, stop! You're thinking too much.
Quit caring about the truth.
Yeah.
Quit caring about the truth and let's party, bitch. Like that.
Sure.
I want you to get a Hallmark card that says that. You can give it to your INTJ friends.
Sure.
That'd be a good line of greeting cards. Actually, you'd probably make money on those. The personality type greeting cards, and it would say, "Dear INTJ, dear beloved INTJ friend," and they open it and it says, "Quit worrying about the truth and let's party, bitch." And then people would go, "Oh, that's funny," and they totally buy that card. Totally would. I could sell that card on my page.
You know how they have cards that are like from grandson to grandfather or something like that, and they have a whole bunch of cards in this section.
Uh-huh.
You would have like from INTJ to ESFP or something like that.
Right.
And so
it could be. There'd be one really there has to be one main category, which is responses to the excess of you displaying of your type, right? So you say, okay, you have just gotten 2 ESP for me. I'm getting you one of these cards, and it says, what it says, like, stop being a sociopathic douchebag, something like that. Yeah. So JC, would you like to buy a Hallmark card? Is that what you're saying? No? Or you just tell them this with your mouth. So anyway, you drag people out, you go out, you have fun, and then are they happy you took them with you? Usually at the end, they're like, "I'm so glad I went. I didn't want to go. I am so glad you dragged me out of the house." Do they say that?
No. It depends on, I don't think I've been told that specifically, but I also don't think I have a lot of NI-DOM friends, so...
Well, actually, Delilah and I both say that a lot. We don't necessarily want to go do something because we're kind of homebodies, or we want to do exactly the one thing we have it sort of feel like doing, and nothing else is we feel like doing. We don't want somebody else's idea, basically, for no reason except that, well, but it might interfere with my ability to have more possibilities, and so we tend to resist going to commit to do things, and then when we're there doing them or afterwards go, "I am so glad I did that. That was so much fun. I didn't want to go, but I was so glad I did it." I say that all the time, actually.
Right. I don't know.
JC doesn't know. That's the title of my new book.
It's not that hard to get, like, my own personal friends, like the people in my life. I don't find it extremely difficult to do things with them. Sometimes.
When you get older, it gets harder. They don't want to
I'm
go
sure.
out anymore. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I'm getting to that. People have, like, real life crap to do.
Well, they get kids. They get marriages and kids, and they turn into just like banality express train. Here's some more banal shit for you to look at it. It's another picture of my kid. It's cool.
A lot of my friends are getting married. I have so many friends getting married right now.
Wow. Then I'm sure you've got a lot of exciting conversations about wedding dresses coming up. You know what's big this season, don't you? The princess dress, the mermaid style dress actually is really coming back in, and so is the strapless Starlight Express dress, and a lot of different styles are really huge this year.
Oh man, you know all about it, host Eric.
I do. This is the show where people tune in to learn about wedding dresses.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And makeup. and a whole
Okay.
bunch of other stuff.
Question for you, JC. What do you think about off-white wedding dresses? Should non-virgins wear them?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That is one of the most important questions of our time, and you think it doesn't matter.
You wear the dress that looks nice on you. Wear the one that you want to wear and that you feel comfortable walking down the aisle in.
No, JC, a wedding dress is a symbol of your virginal purity. It's true.
No, it hasn't been that for a very, very long time.
Well, I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, okay? That's why I wore a white tuxedo at my wedding. Both of them, because I was a virgin both times. And it was surprising because I had a child.
That wasn't a bad.
Unify. We're not talking about anything. We're not talking about anything.
If your second marriage you still wore a white tuxedo, that must have been a bad first marriage.
Well, the surprising thing was that somehow I wasn't a virgin for a while. That's how I had a kid, but I guess my hymen closed back up or something. So I was a virgin again for my second marriage. I did too, Trenton. Trent doesn't believe me. Anyway, my male hymen is a spiritual thing, not actually a physical thing, but it counts the same. And that's why I was a virgin both times. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People. Oops, that's not the right button.